Hey, vinyl community, it's Dwayne, Rockin' Doc, coming back at you with another video. This time we're going to look at online vinyl finds for July. First off, got a couple of things that I ordered directly from the band. Band is the Dwarfs. They're brand new and it just came out, called Jankum, and it plays at 45 RPM. And this is kind of an unusual cover for the Dwarfs. There's no naked girls on it, and even on the insert, no naked girls. Well, if you look through these photos, you'll probably come across a couple of girls getting their boobies signed, but that's about it for nakedness. And it's like I said, it's the brand new and it just came out. Killer album, killer punk album with some hard rock overtones, and the title of this album is called Jankum. And if you wanna know what that means, Google it. It's gross. Anyways, this is signed by Blag, and I picked up another one because it's one of the albums that I didn't have. This is the album called Rex Everything, and this is actually a compilation album of tracks that feature Nick Olivieri playing bass and singing on. And this is a 2025 reissue. The original came out in 2018. This is on orange vinyl, but I'm not going to take it out and show you. And again, it showcases the track from various albums with Nick Olivieri, and the inner sleeve shows you the albums the tracks are taken from, and then there's a little blurb about each track. There's a collage of pictures. And this reissue contains 7 extra tracks that weren't on the original. And again, you may not be able to see it very good, but this one's signed by Blag too. So that was it for stuff that I bought directly from the band. Next up, we're going to look at This Is a Place, wearing their shirt that I haven't ordered. And this is an old shirt. I've had this for years and years and years. I used to order CDs from this place in the UK called Raucous Records. This is the first order I've done with them for years and years. And they still carry mostly CDs, but they do have some vinyl now. So I got this one, another genre that I really like, 10-inch records. This is the Cave Girl and the Neandergals. This is their debut release called Carnal Desires. It's from 2004 on a limited edition 10-inch. There's the track listing. They're an all-female rockabilly band from the UK, and they also have a live album that they released last year on CD only, with pretty basically all the same tracks that are on here, with a couple other cover tunes that are on it, but done live. So this is the debut 10-inch from Cave Girl and the Neandergals. Then I also picked up this one. This is a reissue from the Los Straitjackets called Rockin' Espanol. And this is a 15th anniversary reissue that came out in 2022 on purple vinyl. And again, I'm not going to take it out and show you. The original was out in 2007. And this is an album. If you're familiar with Lost Straitjackets at all, they're basically or usually an instrumental rock surf band, but this time they have guest vocalists on these tracks, and most of these, well, all of these tracks, I believe, are songs from that came out in the 60s, I believe. There's a track listing, but they're all sung in Spanish. And yeah, a collection of classic 50s and 60s tunes. And the vocals are done by Big Sandy from Big Sandy and the Fly-Right Boys. And Cesar Rosares from Los Lobos and Little Willie G from an East LA band, soul rock band called the Midnighters. And they cover songs like All Day and All the Night, Poison Ivy, Hang On Sloopy, Boney Maroney, Wild Thing, just to name a few. But again, all sung in Spanish. And here's another one that I looked really interesting. I really like the cover art on this, and I don't know anything about this fellow when I bought it, other than I knew it was going to be an instrumental surf kind of album. But this is the second installment in of instrumental surf psychobilly garage rock trilogy. It was released in 2019. Again on purple vinyl. I'm not going to show you though. Oh, maybe I will, because this one was kind of weird. When I first took it out of the sleeve, I thought it was, I looked at it and was, Jesus, this thing ever dirty. You probably can't see it, but it's got a whole bunch of little white specks in it. So I'm assuming that's supposed to be like you're looking at the Milky Way with all the stars in it. But this fellow is actually his name is Philip Doyle. Oh, I didn't tell you the name of the album. It's Doily and the Twang Lords, Return of the Twangy. But like I said, he was the head of Diablo Records and a former guitarist for psychobilly bands like Demented Ergo, Klingons, and Guitar Slingers. And he plays all the instruments on the album. And it blends classic early 60s twangy surf guitar hooks with aggressive 80s punk, hardcore drum fills, and sci-fi B-movie audio samples. You can tell I took that from I think somebody reviewing the album. That's what they described it as. And like I said, I didn't know anything about this album, but I was really drawn in by the artwork. So, and if this is the second in a trilogy, I think I'm going to have to get the other two, because this one is just a killer instrumental rock surf album. And I think his first one was called Twang Solo. And I forget what the third one was called, but I'll have to keep an eye out for those, because, like I said, that album was just awesome. And also another anniversary reissue. This is a 2018 reissue from King Kurt. The album's called Oh Walla Walla. And it was released in 2018 on yellow vinyl. Again, I'm not going to take it out and show you. They're from the UK. Their debut originally was released in 1983 and produced by Dave Edmunds. There's the track listing on the back. And they do covers of Ghost Riders in the Sky, Lonesome Train, and Mac the Knife. Otherwise, it's all originals. And I don't know why it took me so long to get this album, because this album is killer. I'm surprised I haven't. I've seen it before, but I've never owned it. But it reminds me in places of a sort of a mixture of New York Dolls, Mojo Nixon, and the Cramps. So if you see this album, highly recommended. The only quibble I have about it is there's no information. There's no, other than the track listings, and there's no information on the inside talking about the album or the band or anything. Next up is debut from the James Oliver Band called Twang, and he's a Welsh, well, he's the guitar player, but it's a Welsh power trio, and it's recommended if you like your blues with some kick-ass rock and kick-ass guitar playing. The band's influence are felt throughout the album, like a Wilco era, Dr. Feelgood, Chuck Berry, Elmore James, and Albert Lee. And he does a few covers, a couple being Big Joe Turner tracks. He does two of them. But one of them is Honey Hush, that's been done by a lot of bands. One of my favorite versions of that song is done by Foghat. And he also does Dick Dale's surf classic, Miserlou. It's the last track inside too. And he's got another album that he released last year, I believe, called Fanatic. So I was so impressed with this album, I'm gonna have to search out and try and find his other one. So if you like your blues a little bit on the rockin' side, highly recommended. The James Oliver Band. Well, then last up, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know how I like comps. Here's a comp of 50s rockabilly, blues, and pop artists and R&B. This was released in 2012, and it's an Italian compilation. And the better known artists on here include Etta James, Janice Martin, Ruth Brown, and Big Mama Thornton. There's the track listings there. And it comes with a CD copy of the entire album. So that's She-Bop, various artists. So that was it from Raucous Records in the UK. Next up, I have some stuff that the first order I've gotten from these guys called Sonic Records. They're from Montreal. So I saw some videos they threw up on Facebook. They throw up every once in a while stuff that they just got in. So I saw some stuff that I figured I had to have, so I did my first order with them. And first up, there's a couple albums I ordered, recommended by Damo from Australia. He's got a channel on YouTube called the Long Gone Loser Rock Show, and he raves about this band quite a bit. So I decided to take a chance and pick up a couple of copies that Sonic was showing. The first one is their 12th studio album released in 2019. Really like the artwork on this thing. There's a picture of the band with the track listing on the back. The artwork's done by a Japanese artist who does covers for a lot of albums. His name's Rock and Jellybean. But this is an Australian punk band. They fuse punk, thrash, sludge, and power pop. And another killer album. And I also picked up another one of their albums. This is their album that came out after that. This album, I forgot to tell you what the title is. So I Could Have Them Destroyed was the title of this album. This is their album that came out after that one. This one came out in 2021. But in the meantime, they've got a new lead singer. But it still has that melodic, fast punk feel. But this time around, it's a little bit more, in my opinion, a little bit more on the power pop side. And they released a split EP. There's a track listing with Red Cross. I believe it was this year for Record Store Day on 7-inch or 12-inch. I can't remember which. But that one I haven't been able to find. Also picked this one up. Johnny Thunders, Sticks and Stones, the Lost album. And this is a 2009 double album. There's a track listing on the back. The first side consists of demo tracks that he recorded in 1990, some of which he was planning to do on a new album, but he died in 1991, in April of 91, so that was the end of that. And the B-side of record one is some studio acoustic tracks done in 82, and the both sides of record 2 is a live concert recorded in July of 1980 at Max's Kansas City. And the last couple of tracks, I think, from here, they do a couple of New York Dolls tracks, and he's joined on stage by David Johansen, the singer from the Dolls, who sings on those couple of tracks on the end of the record. There's the inner sleeve with a picture of Johnny there. And there's a 2023 reissue of this album, just the demo track version of this album, with a different cover, and it's got a slightly different title. It's called Finally Alone. The Sticks and Stones tapes, and it's got the tracks that are on this one plus extra added tracks. So that's Johnny Thunders, Sticks and Stones. So I also saw this one, and I grabbed this one because I hardly ever see vinyl from 9 Pound Hammer. This is their 2025 reissue to celebrate their 40th anniversary, which is next year. This is the earliest known studio demos recorded in February of 1987, and most of the songs on this album ended up on their debut album, The Mud, the Blood, the Beers, released in 1988. There's the band in the back with the track listings. There's a little blurb there. The album's called 1987 Revisited. They're a cowpunk band from Kentucky featuring guitarist Blaine Cartwright, who still plays with this band on occasion, but he He's now the full-time guitarist and has been for quite a while, number of years with Nashville Pussy. And these guys are still together. They just put out, or they're going to put out, a new EP called Too Outlaw for Outlaw Country. Because next year, starting in February, they're going on tour uh, with the Super Suckers, Nashville Pussy, and 9 Pound Hammer. What a show that would be to see. So far, they only have dates in Australia scheduled for next year in February. So I'm hoping we see them in Canada somewhere close that I can get to see it. Look, crossing my fingers on that tour, anyways. So this is 9 Pound Hammer with 1987 revisited, a bunch of their old demo tracks. Also got the Satelliters. What's Up with Timothy D. This is a 2013 reissue. The original came out in 1999. There's the band on the back with a little blurb about each guy and the track listing. They're a German band that has an intense mid-60s garage band sound with lots of fuzz guitar and Farfisa organ. Another great band. I very seldom see their vinyl. I have a couple of their CDs, and I think I've got a couple 7-inch singles. And here's another band that, at least in my neck of the woods, you hardly ever see any vinyl from these guys. That's the Dukes of Hamburg, and this is their album called Bad Side of July. There's the track listing on the back with a little collage with some band photos. And if I remember correctly, these guys were like a pretend band from the mid-60s, but actually they're a modern band made up of musicians from San Francisco, from the Mummies and the Phantom Surfers, plus a member from Germany's, or a member or two. I'm not sure how many, but there's at least one member from Germany's, the band The Astronauts. And their music is a mix of classic garage rock, 60s style garage rock. And this one, I believe, is all covers. I'm not really sure, but I think it is. And they keep up the fake image with German language spoken intros on both sides of the record, and also at the bottom there's little blurbs there on the bottom, all in German. So trying to keep up that fake German 60s band image. But again, if you're into garage rock, these guys are highly recommended. If you can find any of their albums, grab them. And I'm still looking for a couple myself. I've got a couple of their albums, but like I said, you hardly ever see vinyl from these guys around my area. Also got this one because I was kind of curious. Didn't know nothing about it, but this is a 2026 reissue on the Spanish label called Bang Records from the Hydramatics. The album's called The Earth is Shaking, and it originally came out in 2007 only on CD. There's a track listing on the back, and I'll just read the hype sticker. It says, first time in vinyl, their 2007 and last album featuring members of Sonic's Rendezvous Band, the Celibate Rifles, and Love Slug. And apparently, I haven't heard their first two albums, but apparently their first two albums had a lot of horns on them. So this has no horns with a raw guitar, Motor City kind of sound. And they do covers of besides their own tunes, and I think there's a one or two of these tracks are old Sonic Rendezvous band tracks, but they also do covers of Dr. Feelgood's Baby Jane and the Stones all down the line. So I don't know. Maybe I'll look on YouTube and check the earlier albums out, because I'm not big on horns, so I don't know. I might pass on the first two, but maybe check them out and see what they're like. Maybe I'll grab the first two albums, but this one I really like. And then I got a couple of things once again from Amazon, because a lot of times that's the only place I can get them. And again, this is another thing where I didn't get them all at once. It was through the whole month of July. I got the brand new one from Nashville Pussy. It's a 10-inch record. Some people don't like 10-inch records. I love 10-inch records. This is called 10 Inches of Pussy. It's a 4-track EP. And it's their first studio recording since 2018. And apparently it sounds like everything I read about this, because it says season 1 is they're supposedly going to do a series of these 10-inch records, but let's wait and see if that happens. And again, this is what I call sleaze rock. It's hard rock with a punk attitude. And besides the new tunes that they do a cover version of a song written by Harry Vanda and George Young of the Easy Beats. And again, there's a connection there with AC/DC. George being Malcolm and Angus's brother. And this is that song was the title song on Stevie Wright's debut album from 1974, and he was the lead singer from the Easy Beats. So that's the song he did as the cover of his debut album called Hard Road, which Nashville Pussy does a great cover of. And again, another recommended album. Really like Nashville Pussy. When I lived in Vancouver, I've seen them like a half a dozen times. Great band. So I also picked up another thing called Pussycats and the Dirty Johnsons. This is their latest album called Beast, which is a German pressing from 2020. And it's the 4th album by this female-fronted, and there she is, their singer, Puss Johnson. This is a UK punk band. They're now a 3-piece with guitarist, drummer, singer, but no bass player, and vocalist Puss Johnson. Also, or no, I guess it's maybe Puss Johnson. Yeah, I guess that's it. Puss Johnson. Sorry about that if I got your name wrong. She also does some guitar playing. But it's kind of hard to describe the sound of this album. It's kind of a down and dirty rock with a blend of punk, garage, trash, and a slight touch of rock, psychobilly, which is, although I don't have their previous albums, but I believe, because I've seen some video clips, their earlier stuff was a lot more on the psychobilly side, where this kind of strays away from that sound a bit. And Puss Johnson has a kind of a talk-sing vocal scream kind of style, which is really unique. So once again, there's the band in the back with their singer right there in the middle. So that was it. Oh, I did get, although I can't show you, I did get the new Deep Purple called Splat, I think it was. Got a copy, put it on. Had a weird kind of warp in it where the needle bounced and then it would skip a bit. So I sent it back and got a new one. The new one did exactly the same thing. Had the exact same weird warp. Tried to send it back and get another one, but they wouldn't send me another one. So they just took it back and gave me a credit. And it was, although I should have played the whole thing, but I just played the one side and sent it back. But what I heard was a really good album from Deep Purple, going back to their rockin' style. But now I'll have to try and maybe find it out in the wild somewhere, and before I take it home, have them play it right in the store and see if it's got the same warp. Anyways, that was it from Amazon. Last batch of records I have is from an outfit that I've told you before. I order fairly regular, not all the time, but when he's got some stuff that I see that I'm interested in, I'll put an order in. So I got this. Oh, the name of the and it's an online record store only. It's called Luke's Records out of Toronto. I picked this up. This is Onslaught, an 80s thrash metal band from the UK. This was their debut album, and they do a cover of Let There Be Rock. On the A side and the B side's got a couple of live tracks from, I believe, was their first debut album. So if you're into thrash metal, this was an awesome band. Another one I got was Mama's Boys with Growing Up the Hard Way. And I think this is like their third or fourth. And they were a hard rock Irish band that had two brothers in it. But they've kind of gotten away from that style a bit on this album. This is more of a commercial rock AOR kind of album. It's kind of mellow. So not sure if I'm going to keep this one. It's like I said, it's kind of mellow. But that's the Mama's Boys. And here's a band that I knew about. I've seen their albums many times, but I don't know why. I never bought any of their albums. This is Riot with Narita. This is their second album, I believe, that came out in '97, and they're a New York band that rocks pretty hard, and they do a cover of Born to Be Wild on this thing. There's the band in the back, and like I said, maybe at the time, because I was a real die-hard metalhead back in the late 70s, early 80s. These guys probably weren't hard enough for me back then. But I'm getting old now and I'm mellowing out a bit, so I can enjoy things that don't rock so hard as I used to listen to, like Onslaught. Anyways, now that I've listened to this and I like it, I guess I'll have to look for some of their other albums, which are not that hard to find. And picked up this one as a upgrade copy. This is Saxon Strong Arm of the Law. Here's some pictures of the band in the inside, and I can't remember which in their lineup, which is was this their third maybe album, third or fourth. But I do have a copy of this already. This one, the album's still got a little bit of ring wear, but the vinyl is in better shape than the one I already own, so this will probably become my upgrade copy. And again, like I said, a lot of people that watch my other videos know how much I like compilation albums. So I couldn't get away without buying another comp album. This time this one's called Metallurgy, and it's a UK comp from 1980, I believe. And there's like 2 or 3 tracks from Quartz, Magnum, and Widowmaker. And just as a trivia bit of stuff, my very first radio show back in the 80s was called Metallurgy. I didn't spell it the same way on purpose, but it was called Metallurgy. So that's a bit of trivia for you. And I think I did that for at the University of Saskatchewan on their radio station for, I think it was 5 years I did that show. Anyways, just reminiscing there while you're watching. Anyways, the album again is called Metallurgy. There's the bands in the back, although you probably can't see it very good with the track listings. So that was it for my online vinyl finds for July of this year. And next up will definitely be some vinyl finds from my road trip that I just got back from yesterday from Saskatoon. And I have to go for another appointment with my eye specialist on August 20th, I believe it is, to Edmonton. So, and I just found out there's a new record store that opened in Edmonton called Rock On Records. So I'm going to have to check that out when I'm in Edmonton. Again, probably stop at my favorite store in Edmonton, Free Cloud Records. So hopefully when I get back, I'll have some records to show you from my trip to Edmonton, and I'll definitely show you some of the records I found on my recent trip to Saskatoon. So once again, if you like this video, please subscribe if you're not already. Hit the like button, the notification button. That way you'll be able to find out when I do another video. Hopefully soon. I'm getting bad at taking too much time in between videos, but hopefully I'm going to remedy that someday with videos that come out on a kind of a regular basis. But anyway, like always, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you again next time.